Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. Max is here. And we're a duo today.
Just the two of us.
That's right. Let's talk about Southampton. Max was there. Max was actually there, and there's proof of this. We don't always have actual physical proof of our guys being at the game. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I mean, we get Edward there, who you literally will see him in his instant match.
Camera.
Yeah, just showing himself in the crowd. But we don't always get Max there because he's more on the shy side. However, you can find Max. There's a Grand Old Team video. If you check out their YouTube channel, they've got match reactions from fans, and Max is one of them. He's not the first fan, as you will be able to see, but he's the second one. Yeah, and he's on the thumbnail. It's a big, huge picture of Max. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
It threw me off, I'll be honest. Scrolling through my YouTube, and I'm like, I know him. I don't just know him. I talk to him like every week. This is weird. So yeah, it's really cool. Max is there. He shares opinions. Different type of atmosphere for him. So pretty cool. So anyway, enough of that. Let's actually talk about the game. Give us your initial thoughts about this thing that happened.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to start by saying I really feel sorry for Southampton because the game plan, it was quite evident. Their game plan became quite evident, after the first half in particular, because they came into this game, I think, knowing that they couldn't afford to get beat. They were very solid and they picked their moments to get forward. And they just so unlucky at the end, really. It speaks volumes of how Everton performed to see how the goal went in. It was just, we didn't deserve the goal. I've got to be quite honest with you. I think from an Everton's perspective, though, the first half was absolutely dreadful. I mean, you can't fault. My thing is, you can't fault the effort of the players. I mean, you look at the likes of Morgan Schneiderlin. We've seen Schneiderlin when he couldn't be asked, basically, and there's a huge difference. It's not as if any of the players have, not willing to play, because there's effort there. They're not, they're pressing. They're always trying to figure out a way, but the quality just isn't there. And it seems, particularly in that first half, we just seemed to pass the ball round and round and round. So sometimes it was even in our own half, and it just didn't seem to get any more luxurious than that, really. I mean, I think the furthest we probably got was in and around their penalty area, but still, as I say, we'd be passing round their box, trying to figure out a way to break through. Going on to the second half, and I tweeted this after the game, it was absolutely dreadful game management by Sam Allardyce, because what he did was, Yannick Bolasie, of course, I think everyone was calling Bolasie for Bolasie to come off because he didn't have a good game at all. Quite the usual expectation of him now, really. But he was took off at half time for Ramiro Funes Mori, and as you said, Gerry, I think the reason he's getting minutes is with the up and coming World Cup. So we brought Funes Mori on and went three at the back, and Southampton absolutely loved that. We were so exposed in the full-back areas because obviously Baines and Coleman pushed further up the pitch just to accommodate the left and right centre half, and we got done on the counter-attack, as shown by their goal, Nathan Redmond. And of course, I knew when Nathan Redmond come on, I thought, he hasn't scored all season. I know exactly what's going to happen. It's Everton. And, lo and behold, that's what happened. But, fair play. I think when they did score, the crowd jumped on, not so much jumped on the players' backs, but again, they got riled up. The Allardyce chant started again, and I think that really got to the players. I think the players kind of thought, come on, we need to start playing our football a few yards further up the pitch. And, as I said, our goal, it wasn't a moment of quality. It was just pure fortune. And I'll admit it now, I was halfway out the ground before that goal went in. I had my back turned and was walking out the ground, and I just heard, and I thought, oh God. As soon as you hear the kind of anticipation from the crowd, you're thinking, God, you're going to have to run back to your seat here. And as I heard it, the Gladys Street went off, and it wasn't a I think we haven't celebrated something like that in a while. I mean, I know the last minute goals always tend to gloss things over, but I think Evertonians just needed that. Evertonians needed something to celebrate, really. But we got it in the end.
So I did not watch this live. Okay, it was the late game for us in the States on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So for us, that puts it at 12:30. Okay, lunchtime.
Yeah.
My kid had a match. He plays with a Spanish language team, so it's a lot of Mexican players that he plays with. It's pretty cool. Just started that. So he had one of those. So I had recorded it, put it on the DVR, and then I get the updates on my phone. You know, Everton, the app is telling me that we got scored on, and then we scored, a game over. I hate it because I usually don't want to know what happened, you know. But I thought, well, we might not be able to watch the game tonight. Okay, and I didn't get to watch it until Sunday night. Finally, Sunday night I got to watch it, and I saw everybody just so much shit talking, basically saying that we didn't deserve it. It was one of the worst played games that we've had, and so I saw all that. When I watched it, it looked like two teams scrapping. It looked like unattractive football. You know, there was one point, and I'm trying to remember if it was first half or second half. It was near the box where literally we were trying to get it out of the box, push it out of the box, and we'd get just beyond it. Southampton would slide in, you know, take it. They would get the ball for a second. We'd slide in and take it. It was like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I was thinking, this right here, this is what epitomizes this game. Ugly, scrappy football. You know, and that's indicative of a team that's in a relegation fight.
Yeah.
All right? So we were dealing with that. So that's the only thing I've had to try to keep this in perspective. It's just because I don't actually think they had a lot of beautiful opportunities on goal.
No.
The one that they had, that cross was money. Okay? Suarez putting Cedric, putting that in, and it was perfectly placed on Redmond's head. That's true. Okay? And the header was good. It was well placed. Pickford maybe could have done better. Yeah. All right, but he was trying to make himself wide, which is, I think, is what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, it was well done by them. The person I thought at fault to me for that one seemed like Keane. All right, because the guy got in behind him.
Yeah.
But then here's my thing. Haven't we talked about this? Keane needs structure. He needs consistency. He needs to be in a back four.
Yeah.
Not a back three. When Big Sam switched formation, okay, that right there, that threw him off. And I'm not defending him, by the way, all right, because I think he should be flexible. He should be able to play in a number of systems. But right now he can't. All right, he's not used to that other stuff. He's tried it in games. It always goes bad.
Yeah.
All right, and this was no exception, and it happened again. All right, so Keane probably could have done better. Pickford maybe a little better, but I don't want to blame anything on that guy ever.
Yeah.
So whatever. No. You know what I
mean? he was the only lad at half time. Obviously, you probably have seen it going around on Twitter. But at half time, when they blew up, just the boo boys were out in full force again. The thought, everything was just getting booed, with the exception of Jordan Pickford.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Pickford was one of the last players to come off the pitch, and as he kind of walked around, the fans that were near him, they were clapping him, giving him well wishes, and you can't really blame Jordan Pickford for anything this season, can you? And I mean, you only have to look at the Dixies, as they call it, and it was pretty much Jordan Pickford Awards, wasn't it? And it fully deserved.
And his attitude is great. I mean, despite the fact that it's been a difficult season by our standards, he's just put his nose down and worked hard.
Yeah.
He's just a professional. So I try to overlook the fact that ball did go between his legs. All right. It did happen, but I still don't think it was mostly his fault. So those are my two players. Keane was my player that I thought could have done better there for the most part, and Bolasie. I thought Bolasie did not play well again. Okay. No. And when I saw him in, and I saw Walcott not even on the bench, Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
even my kid was not happy, and he's
Mm.
5 and he knows better. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. We missed Walcott a lot there, I think.
we miss a little winger depth.
Mm.
So
We
there's
did.
that. Not gonna say it, dude. Not gonna say it.
Oh,
So
I had that on Twitter.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know if you followed it, but if you don't know who we're talking about, he plays in Germany and he had a pretty good weekend last weekend.
And he's not a tall fellow, and he wears braces. And he could have been really helpful this season. Maybe
Yeah.
really good opposite Walcott. Just
Mhm.
saying.
We'll see.
So there's that. But as far as players who played well, players that came in and actually it seemed like they excelled. All right? I don't think we have many. I don't think we have many where you point to them and say, that guy came to play. I got one. All right?
Go on. I want to see if it's the same as mine. Just say yours first.
Second half, this guy came in, changed the game, way more energy. We had legitimate chances with him in. Omar. We had way more energy when he came in.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And he almost got an assist. Did you see that ball? It glanced. It it just barely hit the tiny bit of Tosin's hair. But yeah, he almost got that.
Yeah, but I mean, credit to Umar. I think we've said it plenty of times this season. He is that player that you bring off the bench, isn't he? He's the player that, and much to my surprise, it wasn't Tosin coming off in his place. I was really surprised that he actually went for the 2 up front. And how much did it, as you say, how many more chances were provided for Tosin just with Umar on the pitch? I tweeted after the game, and I was watching Cenk Tosin, and I was thinking, Jesus, he's so isolated at times, and and he deserves a lot of credit, Cenk Tosin, because he never kind of uses that as an excuse.
No.
I think you see plenty of times players, when centre forwards in particular, when they're isolated, when they aren't getting a good enough support, you'll see them wave their arms about, you'll see them in a strop, but you never see Tosin like that, and that's really to his credit, because the lad works his socks off every time he's on the pitch. He's not the quickest, but he'll chase everything down. He'll always be on the back of the defender trying to pick up on any mistakes that he makes. But I think that game really said to me that we need to start playing someone up with him. In my opinion, personally, I think we need to go for someone with a bit more quality than Umar. And I think my opinion on Umar is well documented, to be honest. I mean, I love him to pieces, and I really can't. You can't fault his attitude. He's probably got the best attitude of anyone in that squad, really. To come back from what he's had to come from. May I also add, I thought he was the most well dressed at the Dixies as well. That suit was spot on. And but as I say, I think we need to kind of, as you say, it's a huge summer coming up, and I think we need to just get like a second choice striker that will even play up front alongside Tosin of just a higher quality, maybe even a lad with a bit more pace. Just because obviously Cenk's a very steady, controlling player, and you've got someone with the legs. Say if you can just knock it onto him, well, and get in behind the defence. But that's for the summer, and time will tell.
I agree. I think I see Omar as a third choice striker, and the only reason is, I mean, he lacks some football skills.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually think, believe it or not, he finds a way to get in very good positions.
Yeah.
So I think there's more to his footballing brain than was sold us earlier, because he finds a way. Effort-wise, he's there. He has speed, and there's a lot of physicality. For a guy whose arms are pretty thin looking, he actually does a decent job of holding off defenders. Yeah. I still think he's a third choice guy. He's an effort guy. He's a spark plug. You need a spark, you bring in Umar. I'm totally fine with that. I just think if you want the option of playing 2 up top, I just don't think Umar is that guy.
Yeah.
Usually.
Maybe DCL, when DCL's back to full fitness, I think that's something that I've said as well. I think, Tosin would benefit with having someone up with him, and I think DCL would benefit from having someone up with him as well. So, give the two of them the run together, and next season we'll see if that works.
I'd like to see DCL take a turn as far as maturity goes for clinical finishing. I do think he's a good passer. I think he combines well with other players. He's got a great touch and very good vision. He just, I've been that, I've been that young forward who's been in good goal scoring opportunities before, and it takes you a while to get consistent. You know, Jink Tosin is seasoned, so when he gets a chance,
he takes it.
It's his. You know, and that makes sense because he's seasoned. DCL is a young guy. It's going to take him a little while. You know, that's why I'm still not completely sure about him being our second striker. Yeah. You know?
I agree with you completely. And to his credit, though, he was thrown in at the deep end this season. I think we have to put a lot of responsibility on his shoulders when he's really not being ready for it, and he's handled it extremely well. Quite ironic that he's ended up with a stress fracture in his back. With the bloody responsibility that he's had to take care of. But
it's reality kind of turning literary a bit. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. And I think this season really would have been a season that he'd benefit from going out on loan and say in the Championship where he's playing up against bigger, slower defenders that he could really get used to. And obviously, as you say, being clinical and taking your chances that would develop over the season. But we'll see how next season goes for him.
I agree. I think he and Kenny could have used something like that, but both of them were thrown in with more responsibility than they should have had this season. And I think they both did well, but having somebody in there like the players who we brought in, who came in and got healthy. Coleman, we looked better. Tosin, we looked better. These are players who are kind of, they're there already.
Yeah.
Finished product. So, one other brief bit we should mention: a lot of conflict around about Davies again, about whether or not he played well. So I'm of two minds because I looked for it after I heard everybody kind of talking trash. I watched for it. I thought his defensive responsibilities he did very well. And he ran very hard. But again, he gave the ball away very cheaply.
Like everyone else, though, in my opinion.
That's true. That is very true. I'm a big Davies guy. I like him a lot. I think he's a smart player, and I think he's the type of player we need at our club. However, I think trying to rely on him every game right now is difficult.
Yeah. Something that I noticed in that game as well, he was taking on set pieces, wasn't he? He was taking on corners and he was taking on free kicks, and that's something that we've never seen from him before. So, as you say, in terms of, the burden that he's carrying, he seems to want to be taking a lot more on.
He wants it. And I love that.
Exactly. You can't fault that. And of course, obviously, if he's come into this game thinking, you know what, I actually want to have a crack at some of the corners and some of the free kicks, that's obviously a responsibility that will be chipping away in his mind. But as far as giving the ball away is concerned, as I said, everyone else did that. And again, this to me, because as I said earlier, I don't think it's anything to do with the players' effort, the players' levels of effort. It's the confidence, and I think that again it comes full circle to the manager and looking for the angles, for the 1-2s, for the forward passes, for the movement. That's something that should be coached. That stuff's coachable. And I think it goes to show that really the lads that we've got in at the minute in the coaching at the coaching staff just really aren't providing the right tools for us to work with, because that's really the thing that I got kind of dragged out of that game, is that if we had a different coaching staff there that are more experienced, not experienced, because I don't want to be taking away the experience of Sam Lallick, because of course he's a very experienced man, he's got a very experienced staff, but a staff with more of a winning mentality and a way to beat teams that we should be beating comfortably. I said, before this game, it should be a formality. We should start beating the teams that are well below us, and after doing it against Huddersfield and at home as well, we somehow struggled. And I know, of course, that's not me underestimating the fight in Southampton and fully, I'm fully expressing my sympathy onto them for really, because they didn't deserve that. But as Everton Football Club, you should be expecting more.
Yeah. With Davies, I just usually see him putting together one of the two. Either he struggles defensively or he struggles on the attack. It's hard for him to kind of put both together. But again, I didn't come away from that game pointing my finger at him. I didn't, because I was watching everybody.
Yeah.
I did notice. So you mentioned earlier there was a Funes Mori sighting. There was also a Davy Clausen sighting.
Oh, yeah.
Alert the media.
Yeah.
Write about it in your journal later. Are you kidding me? Clausen played and was not the worst.
No, that was fantastic. The crowd loved that as well. The crowd were really happy to see Davy come on. The lad ran his socks off. I mean, hopefully that is an indicator that he's not going to leave in the summer, really. And again, credit to him and his mental state for not wanting to jump ship after the way he's been treated this season. But it was great to see him on the pitch.
I'd love that. It would be great if he stayed, because I want to see what happens with a different setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried because of his treatment. This he's lost an entire year of his life, pretty much. It's been a bad shake for him this season. Thought he played all right. Wasn't stunning. Didn't change the game or anything. But I was glad to see him on. And I didn't think he played poorly. He didn't play like a player who had been on the bench for almost the entire season. Not even on the bench. Not even on the bench. In the stands. Yeah. So, and he did hear that supposedly he got chewed out before the game even started, supposedly by the coaches for not trying hard in warm-ups or something. There was a rumor going around about that.
Oh, that angers me, that, because I saw the lad on the sideline, obviously, because where I'm seated, when I go the game where I'm sat, it's not far from where the substitutes warm up, and the lad didn't stop. The lad didn't stop, and that's sending a message, I think, as a player. If you're staying out there warming up, even after subs have been made, it's saying to your coaches, just play me, I'm putting the effort in and I'm working hard. But as you say, hopefully a change in management will bring the best out of him.
Yeah, supposedly he was not going very hard before the game. So, anyway. There was also a rumor that Silva was there, but I don't think that was true. So, yeah. So, really quickly, 3-word reviews, okay? From Instagram, Miriam Foster, 7263, says, almost fell asleep. Sean H, 1982, says, we still premiership? Pretty good question. From Facebook, John Jones says, yet more dross. That's a word I don't say often in my life, but it's true. Barry Foster says, very, very lucky. Martin Lloyd, in the same vein, says, we mugged Saints, which I think a lot of people would agree with that.
That's good.
From Twitter, Stephen Reeves says, no interest whatsoever. Andy Barnes says, asleep in sunshine. And my personal favorite, that has nothing to do with Everton, from Instagram, Your Mum and Stuff, says, my name's Jeff.
Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff. I would rather focus on your name. So I believe that is it for our Southampton reaction. Nonplussed is maybe the word. So yeah, it's something that happened. And in a week or two, we might not remember it. So there's that. We have another caption contest. All right? Max, you haven't seen this yet, but it's from this past weekend's game. Yeah, it's good. So throw your captions up there. I have mine, but again, I always hesitate to say them. I don't want to take yours. And throw those down there in the comments. And what we'll do is we'll take our favorites and do a segment on them at the end of the season. So there's that. All right.
Yep.
That wraps up our Southampton reaction. If you're digging the videos, please subscribe. We're 720 something subs. Plugging along, getting there. So thank you for that, sincerely. check out Max's stuff on the Toffee Blues website. He has so a lot of analysis by Max on there. What's your most recent stuff?
The most recent piece is a piece on Joel. It's quite hard to believe actually that he's been here for 5 years, and it includes quite an amusing story, shall I say, with me, Joel, and a towel at Finch Farm.
Okay, yes. Read that, because Max just sizzled that really well. He said, me, Joel, and a towel. There you go. All right. Max, that's brilliant. All right, so I guess that's it. I believe we are finished. We got another one to do. So, bye.